So what do you think of the artists that are able to play perfectly and to do everything and take risks and be musical? Like, do you feel frustrated, or do you look up to them, or do you say like it's a genetic thing? They just have this, they just have this, and I don't, and I have to accept it because I feel like this. I feel like, yes, I could reach a certain level. It was, it's a high level. I did competitions, whatever, but I knew that there was another level of 0.001% of the population that doesn't have these kind of struggles. And I think they are aware of this. I mean, I'm not saying they're not practicing hard. They're maybe practicing even harder, but it's more about the fact that they do reach like such freedom and control at the same time that I am inspired by, and I know that I will probably not reach this in my lifetime. Like, it's maybe if I would be doing this and this is something I'm striving to, maybe I would get this when I'm 50 or whatever. It depends also on the repertoire probably, but they're difficult repertoire. Let's say Rachmaninoff or Chopin, like you were playing, it's almost impossible to really have this so well under control, performing on stage with all the adrenaline. What are your thoughts about this?
Well, I definitely look up to these people who are able to never fail on stage. However, I think that these people don't exist. Everyone was failing at some point on stage. Maybe not necessarily in a memory thing, but in other ways. And I think every one of us is working extremely hard to be able to perform on stage and to deal with the stress that there is, because every one of us is feeling the stress in some ways. And the way it is shown in the end is a different way, basically. So in my case, it's shown through I'm playing wrong notes. I'm messing up some stuff here and there. In other people's case, it's shown in a different way by trying to feel extremely controlled, but therefore not creating music and just playing notes. Now you can say the one is a better musician because he's not playing wrong notes. In my opinion, you can debate about that. But what is worse, playing wrong notes or playing notes in the wrong way?
Very, very good point.
Well, but of course, I think that there are people who are able to get into this specific line that I was talking about. And if you are on this line, the chances that you're going to have a blackout is extremely low because you are not controlling it yourself anymore. It's the music that is controlling you. And you have to manage to stay in that line until the end. And this is like most of the time the thing that we are struggling with, because we, the first few minutes, we just try to, get into the piece, get into the whole situation and so on. And then at some point the music is taking over you and you're not controlling it anymore. It's really just your fingers are doing whatever you practiced and you want to create images, stories and stuff for the audience. And you're not thinking about what you're actually doing there, which is the next note, what is the next harmony and so on. And at some point, like the difficult thing is if at some point your brain starts to kick in,
what am I doing here?
What are you doing there? Where are you? Are you sure you know what to play?
They're moving so fast.
What are the people thinking about you? Then suddenly you have to be the master of your mind and try to calm you down. And there are different ways. I'm still figuring out.
Yes, are a problem.
Everyone has to deal with this moment. And some are better in it and others are still searching for it.
So how do you train this control over intrusive thoughts? How do you deal with that?
How do you train this? You train this by failing on stage.
Because you said that, there's one part of being prepared that you know every bar, but still, that's not the whole thing.
Yes. It's really, you have to practice this. But on stage, there is no other way to get around this. You have to practice, what am I doing?
I think also what really helps is if you do have like a schedule of performing constantly, and I always found it more difficult after a long break.
Yes.
Then I had a concert again, rather than I had like a concert every week, and then I kind of got into routine and I wasn't as stressed
Yeah,
anymore.
you definitely need to find your own routine, and everyone has a different routine. Me, for example, I know that I'm a very high energetic person, and I'm stressing out for no reason. So I need to calm myself down already, like maybe the evening before the concert, or the day before the concert. I start to practice only slowly, only soft, like only piano and so on. And on the concert day, most of the time as well, depending on how good I feel with the instrument.
I love the when you were warming up with Hanon.
Yes,
Like,
this is
like,
my routine that helps me all the time.
that's so great because you're literally doing like an athlete, warming up your muscles and your neurons, like your connections to your hands, and not by playing directly the pieces. You're
Yeah.
just getting a feel of the instrument. I think this is very, very nice. I'm actually curious about the rest of your routine. Like, how on a concert day, how does your day look like? Or it starts early already. As you said, the night before, you're already starting to kind
Yes.
of adapt.
I need to prepare myself for the stage situation, and I just try to get my heartbeat down, basically.
Breath work,
Yes,
meditation.
breath is a big thing. Like sometimes I just stand in front of the mirror and I start to breathe in and out 5 times, very slow and very deeply, and talk some stuff into the mirror and just calming myself down, just saying, you practice this, you know the stuff. There's no reason to worry. If I didn't practice, of course I would understand that I'm worried and that I fail on stage. But then, if I know I didn't practice enough, I'm not sad afterwards. I'm angry
Yeah,
with myself that I didn't practice enough.
yeah.
But
If you
if I
practice
know I
enough,
practiced so much and I still fail,
that's
I'm very
frustrating.
sad.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated. But there's always a reason of why things happen. And I discovered for myself that, the moment that you fail is not the moment that you have to practice. It's I mean, in the scores, it's not the thing that you have to practice. It's somewhere before. Somewhere before there was an exit that you didn't take correctly, or I don't know. It's just something that was not in the right balance, not in the right place, and you have to find that point and work on this. And this is the most difficult part because you have to go through the whole concert in your head and think about when was that point that I felt awkward or was not perfectly in place. And sometimes, it's just a fingering that you have to change. Sometimes it's the pedal that you have to change, that you take less pedal or more pedal or on another timing, basically, or you breathe differently or you sit differently. It's so many things have an impact on what is going to happen and what is going to have an impact on if you're actually able to play to the end or if you're, failing in the middle.